yeah, I just want to first of all like thank Cori for like coming here to like walk us through her process, because some people like your process is very individual, right? And it's like, do I really want to share? So, and like I think we're all such a sharing group, and so I'm just thrilled that Cori was said yes to doing this Learn Out Loud. So as she said, like we're going to kind of ask questions as we go along. So I'm trying to let people in at the same time, like ask questions as we go along, but like, but please don't interrupt, like put up your hand and we will call on you or whatever. There is a possibility that we could go longer than an hour. And so if you would like to stay around, please stay around if you have the time. And if not, we will have the recording available in the salon anyway, so you can go and catch up then. And yeah, so like if you don't know Cori, she is, and like I said, Brandon last time, is a man of many talents. Well, Cori like is also a woman of many talents. You will see her on TikTok making sourdough, doing her pottery from her studio, singing to her guitar, and we won't talk about the trumpet thing, but there's the trumpet thing as well as making images. So yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Now I'll hand it back to you again, Cori.
Thank you so much, everybody, for taking some Saturday time and hanging out with us. I thought that I would show you a previous chat, because it goes on, and I won't read absolutely everything in it. I'll skip parts of it, and I'll go to a couple different chats to show you of a project that I created. If we have time, and if you're interested, I've also created 2 different generators or prompt generators that I'll go into later if we want to do that as well. But for the start, I'm going to share my screen and see if I can figure out how to do this well. So here we're going to go.
While you're working on sharing your screen, Rick had a question. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Is there a way to share my entire screen as opposed to just the tabs? Oh, yeah. Window, entire screen. I see it.
Yeah.
So swift here.
So,
okay.
So my question is not a question, it's a comment. You're like a beautiful river. I've been in big conferences with 20, 30 people. And what I love about it is I want to watch you. I want to see you flow. I want to dip in and maybe get something out of your brain and share mine with you. I think that's what being an artist is. It's a verb. And I think the verb that you can pluck by just watching some other person at work, that's why I'm here. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Can you guys see my screen at this moment yet?
We can.
Okay, so you see this stuff here. So if I click on this, you're going to see that?
Yep. See okay. GPT. Yep.
Okay. So what and I'm not sure, when you do projects, things can move around a bit. So if you save to the project from here somewhere in your long list of workings, and then you can click on this little button here, for example, and you can go move it to a project. So there are times that I've done that. So in the actual project, which is up here now, that's where we are here, we're going to go to, if you can see my cursor, can you see it when I go to a different tab like that?
We can, yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know then, perfect. So I went into Pinterest at some point, and I pulled out these images. Can you guys, there we go. Because I love the colors here. I love the quirkiness. Some of the image stuff is mine that I'm going to bring in. But I gave this first as a bit of a reference. I didn't want to make these, but there was something, if you look at that, there's a cohesiveness for my brain about this. I don't know if it's the color, if it's the mood, but there was something. So I'm going to just make this a bit smaller here. So in the blue is my questions or my responses. This is theirs. This is my GPTs. So these are all images that I love. The clothing, the surrealism, the realism. Can we use this to create our own unique Cirque offshoot? So I've called this Cirque Oddities. Now, somewhere else I had started something. We'll find it, I'm sure. They'll be used for digital art, wall decor, greeting cards, print on demand, galleries, if we make them unique. So I was trying to think big already. I don't want to just make an image. This is what I want to do with the images. And I want it to be an offshoot of what it already knew that I had started to make. It says, great, these are gorgeous, they're cohesive, they're eccentric and elegant. Then it goes in to outlining for me some background, a visual signature. It's well defined. It talks about the palette, the composition, the mood. That sounds great. The character archetypes. We'll design a rotating cast of recurring figures, all human, but slightly fantastical. It then gave me sort of names or ideals of those different possible characters. I liked them all. They were cool. Each character could appear in multiple artworks and story vignettes for consistency, great for cards, prints, and limited series. So it's listening to me, right? But it's so much more than listening. The format, there's digital art and wall decor, circus oddities, number 7, Madame Zephyr. So it's giving me a sense of where these might end up. Greeting cards, galleries, make it unique. To avoid derivation and AI-looking repetition, we'll combine hand-painted textures from your pottery glazes or studio photos. So remember that ChatGPT or any of the models, I believe, now remembers you. It knows stuff about you. So because I've created so many images and I've uploaded a bunch of images and I have work-related stuff, which is my pottery and some other image-making things, and I have just a conglomeration of Coriisms. It knows about that. So it's suggesting use all of those things together, plus these new ideals that we're going to create. Blend your physical craft aesthetic, earthy, tactile, and irregular, with surreal couture world. That'll make it unmistakably mine. That's what I want. I don't want to create what everybody else is creating. I want to create Coriisms. The next step, would you like me to? So it says, what do you want here? And I'm saying, well, what's, you're going to be helping me co-direct this. What's the best thing to move forward? Smart question. Because now you have to move to decide what I actually want here, so that it's not just a Pinterest mood board, but it is a gallery-worthy art brand. Lock in the DNA. So as you see, I didn't start off by saying, make me an image of. I said, this is some ideas. Let's now create something magical. And I want you to help me iterate that. So make it recognizable at a glance. We already have its core. This is what it has already determined, either from what I created at the beginning or from it knowing because of there was a past number of circus oddity-like images that I had already created. It'll help to create a style codex. I didn't know what that was. I love that. So it's kind of the Bible for the style. Next, forget about these. We have some stuff going on. Forget about my little guys. Recurring archetypes. There'll be 3 because it mentioned those at the beginning. That's cool. 2 supporting characters or creatures, a bird messenger and a mechanical moth. Cool. Each gets a portrait and a short poetic caption. So what I also wanted was a bit of a story for each image, so that whether it's a greeting card, whether I want to create another element like a book, like a story, like a written and visual contextual something or other, I've asked it to help with that, which it's going to do. It's going to write the Cirque Manifesto. This is your artist statement, lyrical but short. It gives emotional and conceptual weight, so galleries and collectors see this as art, not AI output. Something like, in the Cirque of Oddities, whimsy is sacred and imperfection wears silk. Each portrait is a fable sewn from memory, costume, and the dream of being seen. So I'm looking, and it knows the kind of stuff that I look for, which is scratch beyond the surface, find the humanity, find the slight imperfections. And I like to bring those imperfections to light. When I talk about women, I'm usually talking about aged women who have worn their lives beautifully and who have embraced the hardships. and that is worn upon their face and their bodies in the most beautiful, proud way. That's the statement that I want to make as an artist. Not that everybody needs to have, excuse me, but perky breasts. So that's where I may differ. We can write this together. It's going to use some of what I already want, and then it's going to give us some ideas how to apply it across different mediums. So that's kind of cool. Protect and brand it. We'll register it. So it's like taking me into a business model here now, right? Add a watermark if I want. That's not really where I'm going right now. I want to know what's next. So it's giving me that as well. Should I go ahead? Should we just start with the Codex? Yep. So now we're officially into it. We have an essence, and it's going to give me what that is. Vicky, can you just answer me? Because I can't see the, well, I guess I can if I do that. Okay, so I can click on you for a second. Is this okay as I'm going along reading through this stuff? Is that of interest? And we'll get to some of the imagings and what we do about it. If anybody isn't okay with that, let Vicky know, and then Vicky's voice can tell me. I'm going to go back here though. Okay. So it's going to give me the essence, where whimsy grows old gracefully. Just what I had said to you earlier, right? The visual language. So the lighting is going to be painterly, directional, soft fall-offs, chiaroscuro mode, golden dusk. It's giving me this stuff because it kind of knows that my circus, excuse me, my circus images in the past, or circ images in the past, have been of Depression era Ville, that kind of ilk. Dark, dusty, moody, quiet, carny, like oddity, carny like. The color palette, this in part is based on those images that I showed first at the very top. Textures are velvet, linen, worn leather, metallic embroidery, silk, visible brush strokes. So it's creating the manifesto, right? The characters. So it's giving me a couple of different characters here, who they are, and what a symbol might be for them. Like how flippin' cool is that? These are my mood keywords. They all work for me. The style rulings, the costuming, I want it to be layered and textural, always very tactile. The face is expressive but calm, not cartoonish. This is not about making something like an anime or a chibi or anything other than extreme realism in a world that doesn't exist. So something between dream, fantasy, but in that world, it's absolutely real. The hair, I like it to be very sculptural. I like it to be an accessory itself. Props, I want them to have some sort of reason for being there. The backdrops, again, are muted and painterly. And the color contrast is vivid hues, always anchoring the piece. Cool. Signature prompt framework. Use this template as the foundation for every image generation. So it's going to start off with this kind of a ism. Painterly surreal portrait in the Cirque Oddities offshoot style. Then a character description. Soft diffused theatrical lighting with fabrics. The background, a color palette. Feels like a fine art photograph crossed with a dream. Love that. The expansion branches. This is moving forward, right? Gives us some more options. So like this is pretty involved, and I haven't even gotten to a picture yet. Would you like me to now build version 1, the look board? I'm sorry, the lookbook board. That version would be what you hand to an image generator or a collaborator if I'm going to work with somebody. Let's say I decide, Vicky, let's work on this together. She would then have the manifesto as well, right? So in the expansion branches, this is me now saying it, I want to add a Cirque animal. They're going to be mythical, surreal, uncommon, yet somehow familiar. And when I say familiar, I mean that as it's a noun like that particular animal is my familiar. It's kind of like what Harry Potter had. He has a familiar. They will be eccentric and weird times 60%. So I'm already giving it, I don't want it to look like a normal fish. I want it to be a weird fish. They will evoke emotion to the viewer, elegant, eccentric, and emotion still reigns true. This is what that's all that I've had to say. Absolutely, the perfect and necessary addition. The Cirque animals give the world heartbeat and strangeness. They let you express tenderness and wildness without leaving the tone of elegance that you've set. So you can see me. Can you see me at the same time as you're seeing the presentation? Just nod if you can see me.
Yes.
Okay, then I don't need to do that. So I'm going to do this. So what happens is, as ChatGPT helps to like blow up this balloon for me, it starts to give me more air to bring back to it. So this is what we're talking about lately on the salon, or the learning lab, which is, how do you bring human into the world of AI? This is in part, it's breathing it to me, and I then go, oh, I never thought of that. Actually, let's now add, because it's supplying me with so much. Deal? Okay. So now the expansion branches. The Cirque portraits, we want intimate character studies. Cirque gathering. I don't know how to get that thing out of there, so I'll try and avoid it. Sorry. We want 2 people usually. These scenes should feel half theatrical, half domestic, caught between spectacle and still life. I'm going to switch down a little bit and just kind of go like this. You can see what the different tabs or category of sorts are here. But we'll go through a bit because I know we're going to get out of time really soon if we do all of this. It's taken what I've said. We have an animal compendium now. Great. Do we need to do that at this point? So it said to me, if you like, I can now expand this section, a catalog of 10 to 12 different ones. And I went, don't we have enough here? Like, I'm already getting a little bit. I want to see something. Can we get started? So yeah, it's enough. It's more than enough to begin. Here's the reality of where you are. So it's going to give me a little bit of a summary. I'd suggest choose 3 human figures. Remember, it gave me a whole list of them. So these are the 3. 2 animal features, and keep consistently the visuals around it from the Codex. Great. Go and immediately make the first image after this prompt. Don't wait for me to say go. It didn't quite do that. This was the first one that it came up with. Can you guys see her well enough? If I do that, there, you see her. So that was the first one. I like the little bird, loved the hair. I loved her livedness. That's all that I got out of this one. Then I went to the next one in my, so in my Cirque here, I'm going to open that one up. That was the first one here. I then went to this guy. I think that's what's open here. We're going to open that guy. Give it a moment to show us, if you will. Come behave. Maybe it won't behave. Okay, let me go back to this. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me scroll to the very top of this. And when I think that something is really, really long, as I tend to do, I'll often say, okay, help me create what we need to go to the next window so that you don't lose stuff. Now, we have a lot more span than we used to have, but you can see down here, let's just move her up. Okay, now we're back here. So I brought this image in because I had made it in another iteration. And this was the master build. So we took all that information, somehow it configured this for me, and it gave us what the new manifesto of sorts looks like. Here are 20 hyper cinematic, surreal photorealistic scenarios starring your trio. I wanted those people now. How do we continue making stuff with them? it's going to now give me a whole bunch of options, right? For these people. And it's giving me a little bit of an idea of what each one is. So I'm going to scroll all the way down. It's given me some options there. It's going to begin with the first because I wanted now to have a collection. Now, again, this may not have been the second one from the first screen I showed you, but it's still showing you what we're doing here. So it's going great. Perfect. We're going to start. Before we begin the 20 scenes, let's lock in a few quick foundational choices. So I would have asked it for 20 different scenes. Let's just start. The hat. Do you want to keep the white mice? Because I remember at the very top of here, I believe there's little mice. How do I make that bigger? So in one of them, I had these little mice were a really important part of what I was building. So it's wanting to just clarify with me, as ChatGPT does. Before it goes on, it always asks you 8 questions. So do you still want those mice, or do you want something else? Quail, ladybug, something else. The aspect ratio, confirm what I want, 9:16, 1:1. The lighting, do you want to perceive the exact soft lit, painterly diffusion, blah, 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 blah. And a naming convention for the actual images, so that when I download them, you're not just downloading image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can tell it that you want a specific convention, a specific name. So this is going, COXX, the scene title, example, so that I can then file it more easily and find it more easily. Okay. I've said, you're my co-creator and co-founder and lead designer. You have created many million-dollar art brands, and you have opinions about the mice. What's your recommendation? Never just agree with me to appease me. Tell me the no fluff, to the point opinion to make this perfect. So I'm asking ChatGPT not just to co-work with me. Okay. Exactly the right framing. Here's the no fluff. Keep the mice. And it says why. Great. I brought in some more images here. And it says, great, that's what I count on. So I wanted all of that. Yes, do both images, blah, 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 blah. I've told it a bunch of stuff. Perfect. It's going to go on now. It's just confirming stuff. It's giving me the official names now is Cirque 01, what it is, and the size, or Cirque, etc. And I'm going to say, yep, do what you're going to do there. I'm explaining it perfectly. So again, my comment to it, let's bring the costuming up a couple of notches. I want the costuming as magnificent as hers, but our own, not a replica. That's based on these images that I had brought in up here. Okay. I want these costumes to be mine. I do not want to be considered a copycat. Am I explaining myself well enough? So I'm making certain that ChatGPT understands. I'll upload other images if you need them. You're explaining it perfectly, and you're absolutely right to push the costuming up. That's where we can carve out your signature. Here it's using Kelly, because I had put some of Kelly's images up there. They're strong, but they lean minimalist. That's not quite what we're doing. So it's going to tell me some of the things that it's going to now do. Perfect. I've then uploaded a bunch of my images that I've done from before. So these are other images that I've created, these 6 here. And then these were some more reference images that I liked, again, for colors. Wait, there's a few more. I must have not gotten those in the first batch. Excellent. That's what we needed. So far, I'm going to stop for just a second. Vicky, any questions come in, or is everybody's good for me to just keep plowing through? There's a lot here, and it's just, we haven't got an image yet.
I just want to say that there's something going on with Google Meet that I'm not quite sure what's happening, but I know Claire said she can't post comments. So if anyone has anything and you're not able to post in the comments, please do raise your hand. I'm not sure if it's something to do with like this update with, yeah, if it's something to do with this update with Google Meet or what's happening. But yeah, if anyone has a question and you can't type it in the comments, just raise your hand and we'll get back to Cori that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
It looks like,
that's exactly what I'm getting. It's saying that didn't go through for whatever reason. But what I love about what you're doing is there's an intentionality, there's a purpose, there's a co-working space where you're allowing the space for it to um, add value to what you're doing. So I like the process because your intentionality, which I think most non-serious artists don't start with intentionality. You start with just randomly spitting stuff out and see what sticks. But you're starting from a direction and with a purpose that has some core meaning and value inside of you. And I think that's the professional practice that I love about what you're doing here. Great. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that insight. Thank you so much.
And Reg also had his hand up.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Reggie. I don't have my glasses on, but I'm actually working on something with a similar process like this for LinkedIn. My career coach said that I need to post every day because I'm looking for work. I'm a software engineer and an artist, but I was an artist first. I was a traditional canvas artist.
Yeah.
And I've been told in our career forum that those two can't, or three can't exist in a working environment. I'm like, what? So I'm using I'm using AI. I'm using AI to help me show this, and I'm going to post it on LinkedIn, and it's like a 20-second video, and it's come up with some extraordinary things, and I'm working it exactly like you're doing. And this is the first time I've ever done that because I uploaded my resume and I said, look, help me be convincing. And it's doing what you're doing, and it's really cool to see you do it.
So cool. You know, for somebody to not assume that a collaboration between me and this machine can co-create something astronomically different than either one of us would do on our own, and it's its own third entity, then I think is really short-sighted. And to be able then to do that and to show somebody who was in that other camp saying, yeah, it's good for you for being headstrong enough to go, yeah, you can do this, and I'll show you how. Good for you.
All right.
I'm good on that one. Anybody else before we move on? Okay. So we now have it's responding after my last set of images. Your instinct is dead on. These references elevate the wardrobe because we have a whole bunch of ideas that it's going to do, but I just really want the physical look of it to reflect what I want. So I love linen, I love color, I love muted color, I love bright color. I also, in another instance, maybe it'll show up, I went to hex code, any one of them, and I pulled an image of hex code. Then I went into another chat GPT and I said, pull out all of these hex codes and give me a list of them. So it was actually the actual codes. And then I added that into my build here. And I said, these are the colors I love. Let's add them in. So you can find ways to pull all sorts of references into the work that you're doing. That AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, anything that you use, Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever you use, you can find ways to enhance the conversation. If you don't have the language for it, or if you don't have the tool, it's this green I like. It kind of looks like an apple, but not quite. Go look for the color green. Find the hex code and put it in. Okay. So the palette, your core colors are intelligent. Teal, mustard, blah, blah, blah. The surfaces, the silhouette, the rule of our build going forward. Tells me more, love it. Again, I've added some more things. Wait, there's more. So I hadn't given it these yet because I don't understand the concept less is more. I only understand that those are made up of the same letters and syllables and vowels and consonants, but I don't get it. So I just give it more. Now we have a full spectrum. The Cori Sandler costume Codex. So we had the Codex of the build. Now I'm saying, I want you to really work on this costuming for us. Okay. It's giving all of that. textile, color, silhouette, the character differentiation, the matriarchs, the dreamers, the tricksters, the observers. So it's also giving me these words that I then get to assimilate and figure out how to then spew back out in something that makes sense. Okay, we're going to fast forward on. I love all of that. And also your original thought. I have a hard time choosing just one. ADHD. I want it all. Does that sound good though? Perfect answer. It's the right instinct because this brand isn't about narrowing down. It's about building a word that contains multitudes. So in a world that says, geez, Cori, you're a lot, because I'm a lot. This is a world that I get to say, I know I'm a lot, for goodness sake. Can you help me make all of that a lotness into something magical? Okay. So the orbit system will build 3 internal substyles that all belong to the Codex. It's still going on. We haven't built it yet. More and more and more. Then I added these images. These were other things that I've built over time. Again, similar colors. These were early ChatGPT images that I made, but they were, the hats started early. My pottery for years and years has had these kind of things in them. They're part of my Codex. I wanted them in. These oddity things, like these are like darn odd. I wanted that also to be really odd. So these are some samples of hair and hats. Again, you're the team design lead. So if you think that we should only have the same hat as the original, I'll take your advice. But these are other AI images that I created long ago. There's a ceramic cup with a puffy pigtail drawn on it. I think that could be a style. I want wild and zany hair. Sometimes and other times I want spirals or spring coils out of the hats. These are just references. We can create something from these, or hint of these, or none of these. The dystopian circus image with the 3 people has great hair though. Thoughts? Like I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm having a nice cup of coffee with my pal, and we're like we're having office hours, right? We're figuring this out. Okay. This is a phenomenal collection. Well, thank you very much. You've basically handed me the missing piece of your brand language. I can now define your hair headpiece system. So we have the main Codex. We have the fabric costume Codex, the hair Codex, hat pieces. Okay. Everything wild, sculptural, absurd, poetic. Here's the clean designer breakdown, keeping it cohesive and elevated. It's now kind of giving us what we talked about, right? I won't go, but here we go. Sounds spectacular. I also think, I haven't finished yet. Are you getting my brain? I also think one of these scenes can have a hat stand in the, that should be a shot, in the shot with many of the different hats on it. Perhaps a new scenario. Remember we had 20 scenarios we were building? With one of the characters at a full-length oval mirror choosing a hat for the costume. Okay, go for it all now. That's a brilliant instinct. The hat stand scene could become an emotional hinge of the whole series. The hats are your characters' inner lives. So a moment of choosing one is, in effect, a moment of self-reinvention. Let's do it. Choosing the hat. We have a whole bunch of stuff about the hat. Locked. Also noted, I added more than 20 in the instructions that I added at the top of this thread. 20 is minimum. We'll eventually keep going if we like where this leads. Locked and blessed, officially noted. 20 is the baseline, not the boundary. Good so far? Here we go. The first one, now we have. Next, we're going to build scene 1, the card reading fortune circle. I agreed with what they said, the mouse, the lighting. Excuse me. We're creating just a reminder. So let me break away for just a minute. Maybe in the summer, maybe it was 2 summers ago, I asked ChatGPT, from all of the stuff you have, tell me about me. One of the things it said was, you need to be in control. Imagine. it said, you know, you can rely on me to understand what you're saying. You don't have to reiterate every little detail. You can let me do some of that. That's what you're hiring me for. So here, I'm just kind of doing exactly what it said, which is, no, remember back when I told you this, I don't want you to forget that we're creating a gallery kind of imaging here. I don't want pretty little, you know, doodads that you can stick on the back of a cereal box. These need to be gallery worthy. So that's just, I'm just sharing with you that other part of my brain that goes, make sure it gets it. Okay. I want the resolution to be as high as it was able to do. I'll still need to upscale these because I want to be able to, who knows? Now, I've done nothing with this stuff so far, but it doesn't mean I don't create it with the intention. Okay. Maybe, Rick, I'll talk to you about implementation next. Exactly the right call. You're building a collector grade surrealism, not novelty prints. It's finalizing the master. Good, good, good. I said, finally, yes. Good. We'll keep the white mice. Good, good, good. Yep. Go. And then you mentioned earlier you had a reference images of the trio, so I popped that back up. I love this little thing. There's the mice. There's my little elephant. There's my little steampunk guy. There are my little Victorian booties. There's my things that I liked about this. Perfect reference is locked. Let's see what a different version looks like. Then we can decide moving forward. Should they all be the same or just very similar? Then I said, answer briefly, because I'm also getting like, okay, enough already. Can we get started? They should be very similar, but not identical. Go. Got it. I want to see the little ball that says you're generating the images, or I can't tell if you are. So you can say to it, if something's not happening, tell GPT what to do. So it likely was waiting for me to do one more thing because it wasn't generating it. So I said, I want to see a visual so I know. Right now, I can't actually show it. Great, at least I know. Confirmed. Here we go. There's the first one. Remember, the first one was in the card playing thing. So now we have, out of all of that, we have whimsical hair, we have a mouse, we have my hat, and she's playing cards backwards. Okay. Then I said, oh, there's a question coming in. Okay, I can stop for a second. Yes. Oh,
That
yes.
that was someone knocking at the door to come in. So.
Welcome, whoever you are. Okay. So I said, I love this, but I'm wondering, it's painterly or illustrative and not as if hyper realistic, which is what we wanted. Something about the realism of these two images is what I really liked. My other question is for branding and sales. Should we stick with 60-plus-year-olds or make the characters younger, say 40? I like the older, but just wonder about long planning. So like this, all this stuff is going on in my head. It doesn't stay in my head. I vomit it all. Forgive the reference. Totally agree with you. The hyper-realistic humanoids are better. Okay. More emotional weight. Okay, then let's keep going. Hyper-realistic, photogenic, and emotional. Perfect. Go back to recreate the number one image if you can with the new mode in place. I don't remember if it did. Yes, it did. Now they're playing cards. They're definitely more realistic here. And we have the mice in different hats. Cool, huh? Okay, so we've gone to there. Then I uploaded that one again and some other reference images. It stopped. It didn't continue on for some reason. Why did it stop creating? Also, the lighting on these gives me a crispness that I prefer. Do something more contrast between light and dark. The uploads are beautiful so far. You're doing good. Excellent eye. The differences you're noticing is all about the lighting and the midtones. Okay, I'm ready. There we go. There's another one. So far we've had 3 images that are all very similar that could be part of a scene or of a collection. They're not the same person necessarily, but they invoke something very similar. Okay. No more cards. Now we have some light illuminating her face from this, Miss Orb. Locked and ready, scene 2, number 1, 1 is what I wanted first, a 1-to-1 ratio, the square. It didn't give us a 1-to-1 ratio, however. Then we got this one. I kind of love it. Makes me kind of giggle. Then let's make it square. Can you try that? There we got a square. It brought in a version of that other one that I gave it, oddly enough. Not quite the same, but very similar. In the future, the eye should be open looking at the camera, or at least in part, to create intimacy. This one's great. Let's shift the background in the future to be a bit less blocked by dust, but more, I think I was probably saying visual to me. This image is great though, keep it up. So finally I get to say, you're doing well. Like give it a bit of good feedback too, or tell it it's not doing well. Great, eyes open. Next scene. Confirm, proceed now with knitting the endless scarf. Now it just did knit an endless scarf further up. So it's going back to number 2 here. But now we have another person. Great hat. We can see a little bit more of the background, but it's not quite, there's something that's not quite great about it for me. I'm not sure what it is. So I'll keep working it through. Something about, let's see if I've said anything about it. I love the juxtaposition between the mouse and the elephant in many images. Large, small, soft, rough. I also want more wild hair. This looks like old lady hair. Forgive me. Like somebody I know. I also want more wild hair. It looks like old lady hair. I want exceptional, amazing, whimsical, wild, wonderful hair moving forward. And then I said, now let's try. And I was just trying different sizes to see what it could do. Similar images to this one. Well, that's a shift from the first image. Now, for some reason, it's gone back, but that's cool. I'm loving the mice and I'm loving this hair and I'm loving the facials. Like that so works for me. What I don't love about this is this garment here. And I think I start going into that. The images that I was providing at the beginning and we talked about were loose and generous and exaggerated. It has decided to make things sculpted. This is the loose, exaggerated part here, but I'm not sure about the top part. I see, yes.
Just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that it's 15 before. Well,
okay.
well, yeah.
How's everybody doing with time? Maybe we could take a bit of a litmus test before I continue. Does everybody just want to chime in how you're doing with this? Any stops here? Yep, Rick?
Yeah, I'm loving it. And I was just thinking, is your art making process a self-portrait like Hitchcock and Spielberg making the same films again and again? And then what changes each time you iterate?
Do you mean each time I iterate on a new project, a new subject?
Yeah, because you're not going to make the exact same thing over and over again. That would be boring. But Hitchcock reinvents himself, and so does Spielberg. But the true line is you.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
So as I go on, you'll see how it changes about, and then I'll show you. Maybe that's a good segue for me to just show you something that I asked. Give me a second. I'm going to show you something about a backstory.
Yeah, it's one of the things I'll bring up from a historical thing is mirrors and windows. It's an exhibition by photographers that your artwork is a mirror of yourself, but then it's a window to the next.
Yeah, I like that.
Who you're becoming. I like that too.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah.
I'm loving what you're saying too. I work with you anytime.
Oh, in a heartbeat. Heartbeat. Okay. Anybody else before we go on? Are you all still okay? And do you want me to go past the 10-minute mark here? Are you guys okay to just hang in with me for the afternoon?
Let's keep going.
Keep going? Okay.
Rolling.
Okay, good. And please, if you have anything to say now, just, stop me at any time, Vicky, and go, oh, we have a question or something. Because when I'm looking at my screen, I no longer have you guys up, so I can't see stuff.
Yeah, and we have that silly thing going on with the chat where I don't know what it's doing. So just stick your hands up, people.
Yeah. And there's first of all, I guess I should also say, there are no silly questions or stupid questions or or comments. Like, it doesn't have to be a question. You might want to just make a comment. I'd love, you know, like I'm at my, right now I'm at a dining table here, you can't tell. And the lights are on, the fire's on. We're just hanging out. So hang out with me. This is my fun spot. If I'm not at my wheel, I'm doing this, and this is lovely. Okay, so I said that there seems to be an issue here. I think that the skin looks really great, but the clothing looks painted. Clothing looked a little painted to me. Illustrative with the previous images of the knitter. And this one with the elephant is great, but the shoes are not Victorian and low boots with laces. So I had specifically said, I want these to be Victorian looking boots. They're like booties, like little ankle boots with laces. I don't know why I'm hooked on that, but I am. So I wanted them. Multicolored leather, as I just requested. The middle person's sleeves are too tight. Remember, some of the reference images were extremely wide and generous and not so tight to the body. You are absolutely right, spot on. So it's going to agree with me and hopefully get its brain back to a place where it needs to go, okay, I need to fix this up. Read the sleeves, they should not be puffy. So it said stuff. Fabric realism, it's talking about that. It didn't talk about the silhouette. I will move back to a looser sculptural tailoring. I'm going, no. Balloon sleeves. No, not quite. Because it's balloon sleeves. It already has that in the shoulder area. So I'm saying regarding the sleeves, they should not be puffy at the shoulders. And I'm not sure what, biceps. And biceps only. But think of one-of-a-kind artists, handmade, not folklore. We have that in another series, which is my Eloise and Margaret series. That I have in a much more folklorish look. So, Rick, that kind of answers part of the question there. This is a Cirque oddity look. I have had something that was slightly different, quite different, where I just gave it even a couple different textural voices that I wanted it to do, which separates it and makes it different, and the characters are different. So we have that in another series, another kind of series with whimsy and eccentric, whatever that word is. I want bold colors, and bold colors too. This is a little bit different. Thank you for the clarification. Confirm this and I'll regenerate it. Okay, confirmed. Let's see it. No, you didn't get it. But you did get the boots a little bit better. They're a little bit closer, but I'm still not happy with that. You're stuck on creating the same image now. So this isn't me asking for the same image necessarily. It's gotten stuck. So excellent, and yes, completely agreed. The knitting scene has reached its limit. So it's now gotten to knitting. It brought that in, which it can sometimes do. So when you're looking at the reiterations of something, take a really good look at the image and go, what have you pulled from some other image? If you're doing what I do, where I'm not making one image, like this is the rabbit hole that Vicky and Kyle were talking about, but this is one of them. I could easily, here's something else. Right now, my brain's going, I love this elephant. I could, at this point, take this image, copy it into a new GPT, and build out a whole world using this as the focal point. So, Rick, to your question, there can be something that I find in an image that I then build out a whole new world. I look at that elephant and the mice, and I remember saying, I love this contradiction about the elephant. And there's probably a series with the elephant and the mice in them for me in the future that I just haven't done yet. And that just came up now while looking clearly at my image and going, I don't like the sleeves and the knitting. Oh, but I still love that elephant. That's kind of happening.
The elephant is thinking and the mice is fear.
Oh, there you go. And isn't that what happens? We can get caught in that place, right? Yeah. Thanks for that input. Again, you're stuck on creating the same image, move on. And sometimes I get pretty stern with my GPT. It might come up. If so, you'll hear it. Move on. The clothing has not changed, except the middle person is knitting. This image is done now. We have too many of this scenario. Stop it. I want these images in the scene to be poetic and emotional and mischievous, quirky, eccentric, and delicious. Excellent. And yep, let's stop it. So it's going to go on. Yep, go. It's going to create the next one in the scenario. I think we're doing the teacup parade next. I'm not sure.
Cori, can I just interject for 1 second?
Yep.
So Emoji asked, is there a point when the chat loses train of thought and you have to start a new chat?
Yes. So it might not lose train of thought, but it tries to keep context. So if the context is this big, it can often manage it. If the context is this big and goes from top to bottom, then it's trying to find stuff, is my belief. And then it also loses some of the stuff at the top that we were really definitive about. So early on, I had said, I might say, okay, figure out where we're at, summarize this for me so that a new GPT will know where we are so we can continue. But specifically, I do not want XYZ. I had one set where I kept getting a teacup and a birthday cake because I made a image for a friend's birthday. And I took one of these series that I had made. I said, let's add a birthday cake and have her with a teacup as part of the birthday holder, the cake holder. And then I had, I don't know, 30 images that it couldn't, at the sea, in a car, and there was still a birthday cake and a teacup in it. It's like, enough. And so you sometimes have to create a whole new window or a whole new message window. So absolutely. Does that answer? Is that a yes?
Yes, thank you. And also the summarization part, that part I didn't realize. Have it summarized and then move that into the next chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can, maybe let's continue. I may have done that in this one. Let's see. So it's doing the teacup parade now. So it's giving me what it's going to do. Let's see if it does it. No, it didn't. It's damn stuck. We need to change up the hats. They're looking too much like witches' hats now. However, I'm not sure what I did there. Let's just continue. Make a teacup version square format now. Okay, there we go. It finally did something. So it changed it up. It's looking very portrait-like now, but at least it moved on. Next, there's not enough contrast between the background and people. So what I'm going to say to you guys also is I often type very quickly and I rarely go back. Sometimes I do. If I'm using the voice, then it's great. And I'll often use the voice. Voice to text, speech to text. But if I'm typing, which I'll often do as well, I type very quickly, but not very accurately. Sometimes I'll fix it. Other times I just blow it off and I assume it's going to figure it out. Most of the time it does. So I asked for contrast, and what did I say here? Whatever I did is wrong. I also want less studio portrait and more scenarios, in the moment, a day in the life, action, not portraiture. All of these are forward facing and not very storytelling for me to create a reason to own this. Remember, if this is a gallery image, would somebody put that on their wall? Would they spend, forget the money number, but let's just throw out, would someone buy this for $3,000? Like they would if somebody made a beautiful painting or had a Cibachrome or a Giclée print of something. Would they look at this and go, it doesn't belong in, there's no reason to have this? Would a corporate entity put this in their hallway, in the foyer? Not necessarily this one. So I want a reason for someone to own this. And the farmers are too gathered and please. Oh, the frocks, the clothing, I guess. I've given references. Perhaps I gave you too many that were too folksy. They look more frumpy than the one-of-a-kind haute couture artist created for eccentric circ. Exactly right. Your instincts are dead on. Okay, it's just agreeing with me now. So it kind of goes over, changes a little bit. I give it back some things. I should not have to be making all of these adjustments. If you're the lead designer and the co-founder with all kinds of experience under your belt, I'm being ruthless. Oh, I'm not being ruthless. I'm just honest. For instance, these 3 images, though different, are far more visually interesting. So can you see? I'm just talking about interest here. They're far more visually interesting, and I can create a backstory that will interview and interest the owner or the viewer of the images. So far, yours are more portraiture without a lot going on. Does that make any sense? If I'm talking about the costuming or the clothing here, oh, I'm not talking about costuming or clothing, but overall visual weight of the images. Absolutely right. Okay, I'm not being ruthless. You're being precisely the kind of founder that I'd want to build scenarios with. Okay. I gave it some more. Here's that hex code that I did. So I went and found the colors that I wanted. Yeah, those are kind of cool. Very different than the colors that we're getting, although I also like the muted. So I know that I'm difficult. I'm like, if I was a client, I'd be the worst client because I want this, but I also loved, oh, hello, but I also love this. So I'm asking a lot, and I'm aware of that. So create our own magical animals, please, not the zebra striped rhino, because this is from another image. There's so many other animals to choose from or objects to explore. I still like the dystopia. Here we go. I'm telling it what I want, a 1-to-1 ratio. I don't know if it did that. The new phase will be your color bursts, couture. Bold, intelligent, eccentric, emotionally charged. Now, it may be that I like them there. It may also be that when they're in the world that I'm trying to create, they don't go. But I need to see them to know that, right? Okay. So go. Got it. We'll green light and move forward. So then this is so cool. Because now it gives me a different world based on pulling from those reference pictures. Sometimes a bit too literally, but it did it, which is cool. Let's see where I went on this particular day. Remember I said, don't give me the zebra, and it was like a realistic looking zebra from some image that I uploaded. And it was that visual weight of the whole image that I liked. And it's now giving me this. Go on. There's another one. She's darn cute. I want those boots. Next scenario, please. Excellent, moving right along. This one's going to be the balloon beast. Go on. So now it's kept it in this world, okay? When I look at these, I will tell you from my point of view, they do very little for me. They don't emotionally pull at me. They don't emotionally make me stop. They don't emotionally ask me to engage with it. So something is very much missing in this for me. For me, I'm not everybody. For me, I'm letting you know what's going on at the moment. Go on, next scenario. Let's keep moving here. Gave me that. Same thing. I look at that and go, what are they doing? Why does that exist? Makes no sense. Something's missing. I'm so glad that I'm still, consistent with my thoughts, guys. Something is missing. They're just not special like the first one was. The hats feel like dollar store felt caps. The background is not quite right. I don't know what the point is. It looks like mature people in bad patchwork, wool or felt for no reason. So everybody, put up your hand if you agree with me. I'm going to come to look at you guys for a second. So Vicky, can you just tell me what people, oh, you just like put it on the, like either a down up or a up up. This is you like it. Down is you feel similar. You don't like those images. Or they don't talk. They don't have an emotional, you like them.
Rick likes them.
Okay. Isn't
Katie
you
Sandler.
all like them?
Well,
Much.
I'm saying I like what you're saying. I don't like the
Okay.
images. They're
Thank
not
you.
going
Okay.
anywhere further.
Yeah.
I want
no.
to feel something. I want to feel the truth. I want to be angry, sad. I want to be affected,
Yeah.
not
And they
passive.
do nothing. I completely agree. Okay. So they have no reason being here. Exactly right. There's no narrative tension. I don't know if you have it in you. So now I'm getting upset. Maybe you don't have it in you. You've been doing this for a couple of hours. And this has been hours. We've been doing this for a couple of hours. The first one was the best. You're right. The dust circus set the magic. Here's why it worked and how we can get it back. Let's go back to the energy. Want me to build the next image from that base? Dust circus restored. So I gave it back those other images. Not dirt. I meant first. I know I'm contradicting myself. And I'm all over the map, but there's something magical, haunting. It just makes me go, wow, these are special. I don't want every image to be at the same circus setting with the same tent behind, but these just have a quality. This pulls me in a good way, even though I don't even know what that is. The farmer is not quite what I want in the one, and the elephant, I'm not sure what I was saying there. The one with the elephant, it's great on so many levels. The lighting, the realism is the one with the 4 characters and the bowling pins. Like that's totally different. And it still just absolutely makes me, like when I first saw that one, I went, oh my God, like get in the car, honey, get in the car. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Deborah Winger in terms of endearment, like, you know, the Holy Grail, I just got something. It was so cool when this came out because I hadn't made that image before. And there was something bizarre, but real and surreal. And kind of dark at the same time. So I'm saying these ones do it for me. Exactly the moment where an art series starts to come alive when you feel something haunting but can't quite explain it. You've hit on the difference between aesthetics and mythology. So it's giving me all the right words. Just do it, will you? Got it. Okay, go. Thank you. It's not perfect, but it's better. But we're back to that same garment of the sleeves. I may have gotten over it, I'm not sure. But boy, do I like that one better. Are we in agreement? Does that one get closer to hitting the mark than the previous felt looking weird ones? Vicky, what is the consensus there?
Consensus says yes.
Okay,
They
I
love
like that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So now similar, but try a 1 to 2. Well, that's kind of doesn't work, Cori. I don't know what I was saying there. Great. Great. I love this. It's not quite where I was going, but I'll take it. Like I'll take that 100 times before I'll take those other ones that look more realistic, but had no, like, you know, you take the paper, you crumple it up and you throw it on the floor. You don't even care if it gets in the garbage can. You just want it out of your hands. This is cool. This I could build off of. I could build off of each of these characters. I love that we probably have twins here. The male and the female twin, I think. It's kind of cool. Okay. Next. Oh, I said, no, next I want a 1 to 1. So now it gave me this. So it's now somehow it's changing things. It's interesting. I preferred this, but I don't mind this. But now we've moved into illustrative, right? We are like hyper realistic illustration. The others still felt a little more realistic to me. Next scenario. So I've had enough. Okay, you done that. I'm happy with the one that we got. Good. Here's the next, the Whispering Parade. Tells me what it is. I say, go. Now, this woman has just met 4 of her dearest friends. I could have a conversation with each one of these women. I could put on my hat, carry my lantern, put on an article of clothing, and join them, and there'd be 5 of us. I would say, Vicky, I would say, Joy, could you please go get your hats and come along? And then there would be 7 of us. There's nothing about this that I don't adore. It just makes my heart, it makes me want to know where they're going, where they've come from, what it smells like. I'm sure there's music right now somewhere in the forests behind them. I want to know what that sounds like. Or is it a gurgling brook? Or is it a waterfall? Or is there the wind with all of these in you know, flying around? Is there a wind somewhere? This has a talk. Why are these fire butterfly fly things caged? She's carrying a teacup. That's cool. I don't even mind that one there. This talks to me now. Similar scenario in a different size. I didn't say to this one. I just said similar. It went back again. Now it gave me this. And I have to tell you, this talks to me the same as that does. I look at this and I go, holy shit. I'll take 2 of those, please. I love it. I love it. It's a little dark. It's a little quirky. It's the clothed version of one that I had uploaded. If you recalled earlier, there was one similar to this, and their clothing was extraordinarily different. This now puts in some of that clothing. I like it. Happy. Next scenario. The exaggerated size plants that they were walking through was perfect blend of them looking realistic and the environment realistic too, but couldn't be because the size wasn't realistic. I like that. From here on, only use women, no men. Do you all recall early on I had said something about I want the scenarios to be absolutely realistic, though impossible. So in the world that we're creating, they're real. In the world that we live in, it couldn't possibly occur, like those huge milkweeds, whatever those things, daisies, or whatever, dandelions, whatever those things are. They don't exist that way, but they do there. I like that. Perfect, women only now. So then I gave it some more of these. Let me make the Victoria laced ankles have heels, not flat boots. Like I'm a painter. I'm a potter. I'm an artist. I'm tooling this. I want these boots. I want these characters to have a certain costume. I need to keep telling it, but I'm willing to keep telling it. So I want them to have not flat boots. I want them to have little heels. Do not make the garments frumpy, but make them unique and massively whimsical. Let's change the hats from witch-like to more like these. These were earlier images that I made, early GPT stuff. These are just some examples for you to use as inspiration. Do not create. I probably tried to say recreate. I'm going to also upload a new chat bubble, some other colors and inspirations to incorporate. Wait. Okay, it's going to wait. Here's some more inspiration. So these are some other GPTs that I have made, some other images, again, in ChatGPT, long ago. But I like the vibes of this. I like the colors of these. This here, I didn't create. Oh, maybe I did create this. I think I created this as well. Just more reference. again, maybe too much. It's very possible. We can incorporate a similar oversized leather chair, which is, I guess, is one of my signature pieces now. I use it a lot. I love it. I have, you guys can't see here, but behind me, I have these two very large leather chairs. They're not as big as that. And there's something about, so I used to play music on TikTok lives every Sunday. And there's, looking back at some of those lives, there was something about me in this big chair, because I would do it on one of those things. And lots of people would often comment on it. And they don't look like this chair. But I wanted to bring in some beautiful, whimsical leather, jewel-toned leather. I've never seen one like this, but I'd own one like that if it existed. Okay, so I brought it in. The first image may be fun to play with as well, but in our standard hyperrealism, not an illustration as the images, this guy up here. The bird is also there for color reference. This bird that I created. Got them all new. Great. We'll use jewel-toned birds, thick cat, tricolored curls. The tone is intimate but magical, a domestic realism. Okay, one-to-one for sure. Okay. Now you're talking my language. Let me get this small. There we go. Does anybody know how to get rid of that? If I click on it, what's going to happen? I don't want to do that.
You can click off to the side.
Oh, there we go. Jeez, Cori. I couldn't love that more. Like it's not what I would have thought I would have loved. It's not what I was expecting. I'll take it. I love the stained glass. I love the lighting. I love the cats there. I love it. I love this beautiful bird that you only see the third time you look at the image. I didn't see it the first couple of times. And then all of a sudden I went, oh, rule. And then look at this. Only later did I also notice that the cat's tail is way down here. Oh my God. Talk about what can't exist, but looks like it could. Kind of. So scale 1 to 10, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do we like this? Do we like where this is now going, this image?
I'm in positive.
Okay. Still, okay, we're at 2:17. You guys are still okay to hang out? I'm like, I've written off my day.
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
This is
Okay.
like if you can't stay, please don't feel obliged to stay, and the replay will be available in the salon. But if you can stay, we'd love to have you around.
And what I will also say is, if anybody wants to give me their email address in the salon, in the messages area, if you're not here, and if I do end up getting to the generator that I've created, it's not yet finished for deployment, but at some point it will be. And it's going to give you, actually, here's what I'm going to ask all of you. If any of you know you need to leave at a certain time, let Vicky know 5 minutes in advance, 10 minutes in advance. And I can interrupt this for a moment and just quickly show you what it's going to do. Because I have some things that I've opened with that in it, if you want me to. Otherwise, maybe we do another LOL sometime in later March. We could do that.
Or do you want to take a minute to present that now that you've stopped and then come back to your process?
What does everybody else want? I'm open to suggestions.
Reg is leaving by Reg. Do you, yeah.
Okay.
You want to see the app now? Okay. Let's look at the app now, and then we can come back to the rest of the image journey.
Okay, very well. So there are 2 different apps. You can see this?
Sorry, not yet. You're not on your tab.
Okay, I didn't share the right thing. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to share a different one then. So I have to stop sharing and then share it again, or do I just click the share button again? I can just, present
Yeah,
something.
yeah, something else. There you
I'm
go.
good. Okay. So the next one is the entire, that's the window. This one. Okay. There we go.
We see it.
You see it. Okay. So talk about, getting sidetracked. A while ago, quite a while ago, I had started to build a site for an image generator. And I started to do it with HTML, using GPT and Claude and everything else to help me build it, because I'm not a coder. But I was doing it directly in WordPress using HTML. And it wasn't pretty, but it was cool. I was learning a lot. Then I went into AI Studio and I brought the HTML into that. And I said, this is what I've started. Can you help me do more than this? It started to do that. Then I moved into Lovable. And I kind of left it alone for a while I was working on 3 other apps and things. And this morning I went, maybe I should make one in Lovable, just a simple prompt generator. So I started to do this one. And then I went, wait a minute. When I tried to save something, there was something else in my file system. So I'm going to show you this one first. This is what it looks like. What it has here, let's start it here. No, let me go like this. No, let's do this. Okay. So does somebody want to put into the chat that I can then copy an idea? Just, it can be verbose, it can be small. Just give me a start of an idea. And I'm going to open this up.
Or if you're one of those unfortunate people who can't type in the chat right now, just stick your hand up.
Okay. Almost, Reg. Okay. Okay. Then I'll show you what we're going to do here. Or let me do it then myself so that we can get on with it. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So let's just say, let's do something similar to this. So 3 women in their 60s with angel wings that are decayed, playing tuba, cello, and a whimsical accordion. The scene, let's just leave it like that. Okay, whimsical accordion. So I'm doing a lot less than I would normally do. Or I could have said, surprise me, and it would come up with something on its own. I can also bring in an image, okay, and then do the following. What I've then done is there's a type, a style family, technique, camera, a lens, a film or process, lighting, mood and color, composition, things to avoid, like multiple limbs, orientation, aspect ratio, the output size. Then you go whip up some magic and it'll give you a prompt. And it'll give you a prompt, a primary generic prompt, one for Midjourney, one for DALL-E, one for Flow, one that's Canva friendly. You can use any of them in any place, but they're written specifically for that platform. So let's now just do something here. The type, there are 50 different options that I could choose. I'm just going to click any of these. I don't know. Let's go chalk pastel. The style family, there are 50 options here. Let's click. I cyberpunk, sure. The technique, there are 50. Let's choose. A long exposure trail. I don't even know what many of these things are. The camera. Let's choose. Again, there's many options here. I don't know. Let's choose a body cam. No, let's not. Let's choose astronomy tracker. What the flip? I haven't a clue. Folding camera. Okay. The lens. Now, some of these might not really work together. I don't know. Let's go 300 Supertella. The film or the process. Rick, you're probably giggling at this. Oh, let's have an SX70. Didn't I just see that? Polaroid SX70. Sure. The lighting. Now, all of these also, if I just left it like that, it would be a default that it's going to pick one. You know what? Let's let it pick the rest, okay? Composition. Well, actually, let's do the composition thing. Again, there's about 50 different options. Some of them, oh no, orientation there isn't. Wide established shot, aspect ratio, orientation, the output size. Let's whip up something. And there it is. That's the universal one. Let's put it into DALL-E though and see what we get. So I can copy this here. Let's move into, I'm going to open up a new one of these guys. And we're going to open up a brand new, chat. There we go. Oh, I don't want that same one. I want a new one. Thank you. New chat. Okay. I'm going to go create this image. Prompt in, and let's see what it gives us. Haven't a gosh clue. Now, you can also make it as verbose as you want. But if you keep the idea of what you want fairly minimal, then you can play around with a bunch of things without it having contradictions in what you've given it as a prompt. Let's just see what it gives us, though.
So while we're waiting on that one, Moji has a question. She wanted to know how many, like, how did you create the list of options if you didn't know what some of them are?
Okay. I used probably ChatGPT for most of that. So I looked at, I think it was, I went looking for a bunch of different best ideas for prompting and saw like a Bible of oh, look at this. Love that. And so it said, textures, lenses, lighting. So then what I did, okay, so then you're asking, that's a really great question. So then what I did is I created this, a universal work guide that I used in the last, I did one of these another time. And I just used this as the ideal, not a generator. So create images. I wanted to have a mode to create from. I wanted background, lighting, clothing or material, mood, props or objects. Oh, can you see this?
I was going to say, if you're reading from something, we're not seeing it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Seeing
okay.
ChatGPT.
How do I do? Let me stop sharing that. Let me go back. I'm so sorry. Let me bring this up.
All good.
I tried to share the whole thing, but it's not. I can do Windows, but I can't do the entire. Oh, there I couldn't do before. Now I can. Well, that makes life easier. Okay. So I created just this document and shared this document with people to use it as a little manifesto guide, a little idea guide. When you are prompting, do this. Establish a background or an environment. Establish a lighting style. Establish the kind of clothing or the material in the shot. Maybe it's a wooden deck and the wood has been worn and weathered. That would be the material. The mood or the emotional tone. So although I'm not giving you a list of 50 options here, this was sort of the framework that stuff was built on. So when I look at my prompts, when I'm really doing just prompting stuff, I likely, in the way that I speak, include this kind of stuff, more or less. So how could I do what I do? How could I take what I do and put it into a form that is more understandable than Cori speak? Because sometimes my speak isn't so understandable. I get it. I'm a lot. I get it. So background, lighting, clothing, material, mood, props, subject. Is it a human? Is it a product? Is it an animal? Is it a mug? Is it, the pose or the framing? Is the lighting coming here and is the shot from here? Is a shot from behind? Is it an overhead shot? Is it an aerial shot? Is it shot from the ground up that you can see, the hair and the nose? Everything else can remain unchanged. Keep these same for continuity. If you want the same character or style, tell it not to change these things once you get an image. Then regenerate your prompt. After editing only the sections that you want, use that master prompt or copy a platform-specific prompt. You can make a custom GPT with this, where you ask these questions to be filled out each time. Bring it up, start a new one. Okay, this time, this is what I'm going to fill out. Create my prompt. So this was sort of the background for it. This is the outputs that I wanted it to make it for. Iterations is how you can change it up again, make it brighter, change the setting, increase the depth, turn the still image into motion. That's what I had created with ChatGPT. That was sort of part of the basis then for what became the initial, what I call imagine to image. So then let's take this guy. That's what we have. Let's go back just to show you. So we're going to use that same thing, but now I have all kinds of options I can change, right? Let's take it from there and make it pixel art. What do you think? An ink drawing. Sure. Let's take it from cyberpunk and make it minimalist Zen. Let's change that to, I haven't a clue, street. Mood and color. Let's make this this time festival candy colors. Why not? Let's not change anything else. Let's just leave it alone. Oh no, let's do something there. Rembrandt light. Who knows what that is? I don't. Well, I can imagine. Let's whip up something. It's just created another prompt. So let's see how this one differs. Go back here. So I changed a few things. Now create this. Paste it in, and there it takes us. So you could do one image and then just change the camera, or just change the lens, or any one of those items, and you could change it, and you would get something that would be different. Let's leave that, do that for a second while we look at this, and just so we can really see what the difference is going to be. What I might do is I might take this if I really liked it. In fact, we're going to do this next. I'm going to ask for the backstory of an image. I'm going to say, you create my backstory. Let's see what it gave us. Okay. So do you see what you could do with this generator? Like, tell me that's not flippin' cool. Okay, I want to know what people think of this. Just quickly, like heads off as we start. Any thoughts?
I love it. And you're kind of vibe coding through a process, which you could do the backstory and then you could create a song and then you could go in motion. Do you go in motion with much of your stuff? Are you going there?
I go in motion with some of it.
Yeah.
I do also, the backstory has created some songs. And then as much as I'm iterating these and I'm doing this, I do that same with the lyric. Because it gives me the first lyric from the backstory.
Awesome.
Yes, Reg, and I'll finish that in a minute. Yeah, Reg, I know you have to go.
Oh, I was gonna say that is really cool. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit, but that is flipping cool. I actually made an emergent. I made a image caption deal where you upload it, but I'm trying to make it standalone, and that is like, I think the only thing you're missing on that, and maybe I don't see it out of your 50 buttons, is an auto caption button where it will caption it for you if you wanted to do that. But that is really cool what you got.
Could you say that again?
It's
missing.
I created an image captionator, a photo captionator app where,
Yep.
I mean, it's nothing new, but AI looks at your image and gives the caption suggestion for you without you typing it in. And if you don't like it, you type it in that. So if you had an extra button on that, does it, you could actually have it program in there and say, hey, put a caption on this.
Okay. So yeah, I
caption
don't have
option.
that on this. I do have.
But the one I did created that to do that.
That's cool. I guess I hadn't thought in that world to do that yet. It was just the imaging. In the first stuff that I was showing you, what I do have is tell me the story and create something. So that would make sense to bring that into this as well. Thank you for that.
Well,
That
it's
add-on
cool.
there.
I am drooling at the mouth. This is really awesome. It's
Well,
so
so that's-
inspiring.
It's pretty soon. It's almost ready. I let it go for a minute.
Could you press a button to have it generate within Lovable? So call an API key out to Nana Banana or wherever.
I absolutely could. Here's my deal, Rick. So I'm a potter, and my limits right now, well, where this was going to build out to is extreme. In that, and maybe another time I will talk about what this is, and I'll show you guys the plan, which is way bigger than what I have right now. So it certainly could. What I was going to say, so I'm a potter. I have very limited funds right now. So my fear of having any APIs called is the cost that it will incur in use of it. So somebody may say they use 3 images a day. Some may use 160 images a day. I've done it. I want it for still and for video and for logo making. So there's 3 different sections that I want in this. But until I'm convinced that I have the right set price for tiers, which I've also built out and figured out.
Okay.
Then
right now, inside for yourself to iterate, ideate, execute. So you could actually create a flow. So it goes into flow, makes the video, makes the music in the background, and puts it into the agent systems that we're looking at right now are there. And Lovable will allow you to go do that. That's awesome.
yeah, and I mean, I would need to talk that through with either GPT or with someone like you, or work some of that stuff through still. But
I'm seriously there, and Brandon too. It'd be really fun to see this go all the way through, and then you actually put your shingle out and let people try it.
It would be really cool. Yeah. Well, let's
Yeah,
talk
not to interrupt. I'm sorry.
You got to
Not
go.
to interrupt. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to go. But I was going to say I've taken all of my applications that I've built in Emergent,
Yeah.
and uploaded to my GitHub from Lovable, and then made them run on my Apache server without having to do any APIs.
So I know, like this, it's just whoosh, that kind of thing. I'd love to learn more about that. Now, you gave me the information for Emergent, which I've bought already, and I thought I was going to make this in Emergent because of how big I want this build to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't opened up Emergent to use it yet because I got caught in Lovable and then became an ambassador, and now I need to be using. Oh, I need to give you guys a. Anyways, but I need lessons on figuring out how to use Emergent.
I would love to walk through that with you.
Then let's figure out a connection. I'd love that. And I'll share my whole, like, I love a partner to figure this out.
No, you just share your screen. I'll talk you through it. It's like you just have to go through it as a developer process.
Yeah.
And I'll just it simplifies it. And
Okay.
just start something simple and say you just want a demo. And
That'd be
yeah,
cool.
because that's actually a finished piece right there. That's really awesome.
That'd be very cool.
I
So
worship you.
between you and Brandon and Rick, it sounds as though there's a team. That'd be fun.
And Brandon too.
Yeah, you, Brandon, and
Yeah, doing Lovable on your own machine where you're using Flux model or some open source model, you can get everything that you want and dreamed of with no cost whatsoever, because it runs local open source video and still imagery.
Except I have a 2017 MacBook Pro, which doesn't run a bunch of stuff.
I can run it on my server and just hand you the keys.
Okay. I'm waiting for the next iteration of the Macs to come out, because as you see, I'm
Yeah.
somebody who buys one and then keeps it for 10 years. So the next biggest model I can buy, that's where I'm saving my critters for, because I need.
It's in March. It's in March. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to images.
Dave, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I gotta go, guys. Great show, really fantastic. Reach out to me on AI Salon anytime.
Okay, thank you so much, Reg. I so appreciate you. Absolutely. Okay, should I go back then to what we were doing before, or should I stay in this for a while and iterate in here?
Oh, iterate the images in here. I think as long as we don't just go off on that techie side for now, if we stick with images,
that's fair.
What do you all think? You want to see more of the?
So put a 1 if you want the original stuff, or a 2 if you want the generator stuff.
There you go. That's how to run a meeting.
That's easy. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
We have 1 for original, and don't forget that some people can't put in the.
Oh,
How about responses? Like, so a heart for the original and
a thumbs up.
And a thumbs up for the stay in the app. Noemi's good with either.
Original.
Go back to the original ones. Yep.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, very well. Not that one, but it's so cool. You just change something and you have something new. I'm very excited about it. Okay, back. So now you can see everything, right? I'm sharing my whole screen.
Yep.
How silly is that? Okay, so we are on this one now. Okay. So here she is. Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah, we went here. Okay. Yes. Now the next one. So can you see, like, I got excited? Like, I liked them. Thank you. Okay, I'll take that one 100 times a week. Like, tell me she's not just adorable. And again, so I'm very, very clear about the sexualization of women and beautification. Cool. There's all kinds of ways that happens. I also have, okay, so I work really hard at making older maturity beautiful. And beautiful doesn't mean it looks like a 20-year-old. So this, to me, I look at her and I go, yeah, thank you very much. I love her hands. You know, I love her. She's just, you know, can we have a cup of tea? She's not that whimsical haired woman. She's not the balloony clothing, but I love it. Just works for me. Okay. Next scene or concept. Sure. The Keeper of the Forgotten Stories. It's giving me a bit of an idea of what it is. Now I'm liking her even more. So there's something about this one. And I think that it is, I think it's the dustification. Does that make sense? There's a dustification in this that isn't quite in this one. I love this one. But there's a dustification here. Do you guys know what I mean by that? There's a visual haze. It's not a lens thing. It's a magic dust. There's a magic dust in this one. Okay. I love the books. Like, I would put this on a greeting card. I would put this at the beginning of this on a journal. I would do print on demand with this. So the deal is, I have so many things to do that I just haven't done. I need to get my ass, that thing at the bottom of my torso, absolutely moving, because I have so much that I'm not doing. And my issue is about monetization, that I haven't done anything. And that's a piece I'd love to talk about with people as well. But there you go. 916 in a relaxed position with 1 foot over the arm and resting against the inside opposite side, as in almost reclining, dangling a leg over the arm of the chair, deep in reading and laughing. at what she's reading, clearly amused and lost in her story. A whimsical teapot resting on a stack of books and a teacup without the saucer in her hand, all whimsical and steaming. That's what from that last image, that's where I then went. And we got her. And, like every woman I know in a book club, I want to give them this. Maybe this is a sticker. Maybe it's more than that. It's probably a beautiful story. So do you see where we started? And we had that cirque vision, and it was dusty, and then it went into this weird felt balloon hippo thing that made no sense. And then it went into a bit of a macabre, weird carny people thing. And then it went into the witches with the big fluff balls. So I haven't left this thread yet. Following that, and this is that rabbit hole thing. Okay. The next scenario is not so much a skirt or dress as in the traditional sense, but something more runway-like. Let's have her and a friend golfing. So now I'm trying to think of, what are different scenarios that are not cooking, cleaning, needlepoint, reading, right? Perfect direction. The party club, party. Let's see where it went. So somehow it went into an illustrative mode. Really do it for me? It's cute. Really do it for me? So I go, they're too old now. Their heart's not zany enough. The hat is not zany enough. We have morphed into illustrative somehow. Can we turn this into ultra hyper realistic? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So then it gave me that. Like they're kind of cute and adorable. It doesn't really do anything. I'm not a golfer. But I bet you some golfers might look at that and go, yeah, that's cute enough. Holding a teapot at the same time, don't know. I kind of want them to break into a tap dance, but longer, more interesting hair, a little weirder, say 40% more. So you can ask your image platform to go weirder, like you do in Midjourney. I don't own Midjourney. Again, I'm very selective about where I have subscriptions because I just have to be very, very mindful. So I have ChatGPT. I now have Gemini. I have Suno. I have Perplexity because I got it for free when I hooked in my PayPal or something. I have one or two more that are small monthly things. I should be having Midjourney and I don't. I use, for the most part, this and Nano Banana. I use them both now. We're just doing it in one right now. So, okay, longer, more interesting hair, 40% weirder. You can ask it for weird. That's what I was commenting on. Keep it intimate in the storyline. The reason somebody would choose to have this on their wall is decor. How about in a beautiful garden? Or what else have you in mind? If I wouldn't have said anything, what would you have given me? The thread garden. Let's move that over. I think I was going to say similar with one or the same with one. The plants around, many oversized like puff dandelions in your earlier image. The clothing, chic and avant and roomy. She has clippers and a basket to place her garden pruning items in. Flowers, etc. All hyper-realistic, of course, yet fantastical, as if none could exist in this world, but in hers, it's totally possible. So it said originally it's going to give me 20 different scenarios. I could have just gone, go, next, number 3, number 4. But instead, it's talking about this next garden, and I'm helping to steer it in a way that's going to speak to what I want. So this is that co-creation. This is that intention that you mentioned, Rick. This is the human that Kyle has been talking about. This is not just clicking a button saying, make me an image of a teacup and a woman with wild hair. It's painting it. It's carving it. It's throwing it. That's a pottery reference. And then we get her. I love this. It's really close. These aren't quite real. There's a combination here of illustrative and realistic. I kind of like that, but we're going to go on. Stop including the teapot. So it's still holding on to a teapot from some other iteration, right? And who was it that was asking about that? I'm sorry, I forget. One of you was asking about it. So it's still pulling in from that. Stop including it. Each image should be unique. The garden is painterly again, not realistic. And she looks like she's wearing a sack, not an interesting garment, like the ones that were in the 3 on the leather chair. Let's move to a 916, make the changes. We have lost the mouse altogether. Okay. I like it, but I want to bring it back. Okay. And she is looking like she's wearing, some drapery. Got it. No teapots, no repetition. Let's see if it does it. Her hair should end in spirals as well. So if I have something that is a constant, a signature, there's another word I'm looking for, it would be that swept hair with curls at the end, a hat with a finial, a curl, a spiral. So I'd like to bring that back as some kind of, in almost every image, I kind of want some of that, in whether it's the cat's tail or whether it's a hat or something. Not every image, but I like to hold on to that. And here she is. Damn teapot. It's okay. I couldn't love these guys anymore, though. So now, is she tiny or are those huge? I don't know. But there's our mouse. We got the mouse back. Entirely perfect. Keep this as your new reference moving forward. This is the feel for all the images, except for her too loose clothing. Feels like an old woman's cloak. Not cool ass, Cirque-like, magical, mystical, one-of-kind artist, handcrafted artware. Perfect, I got it. Hyperrealism, sculptural clothing, avant, eccentric, couture, da-da-da-da-da. These are the next ones. Tea leaf reader, oh, Cori. Tea leaf reader, balloon keeper, and marionette maker, which feels like the right step. Let's see what the Tea Rose Salon looks like. Now, I probably shouldn't have said that, given I want to get rid of the teapot. However, I'm suggesting it be 2 women under a canopy of oversized glowing blossoms, sipping tea from mismatched cups, while birds bring sugar cubes. The light feels private and enchanted, like a secret kept between friends. So again, it was going to give me, she's in a tent of light, swirling tea leaves midair like constellations. I rewrote that. No, this is what I want. That's a gorgeous direction. Intimate, strange, and emotionally resonant. Thank you very much. Let's confirm your signature elements. Okay, it gave me some ideas. What happened here? Use the magenta, the fuchsia bird sculpture colors for the flowers that I uploaded earlier. Rich, magical, and saturated. Go. It looks like the image couldn't be generated, which sometimes happens. So I gave it that. Make me a series of images with these similar characters before I generate it. So I'm still in the same thing. I haven't let go of this prompt place. I can build a whole series around that visual, but each piece needs to have a different scenario so they can do, so they don't all turn into portraits. The lantern parade, the velvet caravan, blah, 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 blah. I want the thought behind these next 6 images to be a world that you just don't feel is made for you. So make it your own world. If the world doesn't fit you, make a world that does. If you feel you don't belong, make a world where you fit perfectly. It should maintain its quirkiness, its slight, somber, old, Depression era, Cirque vibe, oddities. Does that help? Yep, it helps a lot. You're describing a worldview, not just scenes. So, like, close your eyes. When I first started to make images 3 years ago, I'd be lying in bed. Alice would be out here watching TV or doing something, and I would head to bed earlier, and it would be hours. And I'd be like this, eyes closed, talking in. So imagine this woman, and she's walking through the door, and I'd go on for like, minutes, and then click go, and it created these cool things. So talk to it. Close your eyes. See it. Like, imagine it, and then speak it. And ask it to fill in what you didn't. Outsiders who stopped trying to fit into reality and instead built their own rules, textures, proportions, rituals, friendships, and physics. So you guys are getting to know a little bit more about me here. It's a little revealing, I'm realizing. I hope you guys are okay with this. The door they built themselves. A giant freestanding circus door sits in an empty field. 2 women open it and step through into sunlight. Even though the world's behind them in fog, the door isn't attached to anything because the world they want didn't exist until they made it. Small mice hold the keys. The elephant waits, wearing tiny lacy boots. So I haven't read all of these, but this would be the caption. This would be the beginning of the iteration of a story. This could be a plate under an image. This could be a handwritten in pencil, whether I do it or whether I ask it to be rendered, and then printed. When I grew up, there was a piece of art that we had in our hallway. And it was very minimalist, a couple of colors. They were weird birds or something. And there was some handwritten, made no sense to me thing. But that's what I can see. And now, I didn't see that until just now. I can see me handwriting in graphite that. Or it could be on the inside of a card. Or it could be on a shirt, written under a shirt, or on the side as this image is there. Or it could be a tote bag, and it be on the tote bag, like a knitting bag, like a book bag, like a grocery hack bag, like a computer bag. I love that. In fact, okay, we're going to do this. Meaning when a door opens for you, when no door opens for you, build your own, one plank at a time. I'm going to copy that. We're going to try something that I haven't done before here. Okay, so now it's giving us the different things, different possibilities. I just read you one. Yes, I loved all that. Love it. So that's what I just read to you. That's its iteration. I've copied it. Let's do something here. So we have our elephant. We have the door that's just in the wild. Walking through the door. Friend and friend. Animal friends. Cori, it's telling me this is a win. The image you just got nails the emotional thesis you wanted. Stepping out of the world that never fit into one they build for themselves. Here's why it works and how we're going to stay here. It tells the story, goes on. So it goes on to the next one, the Greenhouse Cathedral. And there we have that one. There's my cat's swirly tail. there's these oversized flowers. It's kind of beautiful, isn't it? The greenhouse image is strong, mood lighting magic. We're in the right lane. I want the tails of animals to reflect similarly the tips of the hats that you have created here. All the tails. So I've now said that's going to be a context for tails moving forward. Got it. Locked in, ready to go. I'm going, yep, next one. We have twins again. We've removed, remember we said no more men? So it gave me those original women, but they've become kind of chibi-ish, haven't they? Do you guys know chibis? They become short, squat. We lost the tall, thin woman. I don't mind. I love this. This is talking to me. Can we stop for a moment? Just can we open up everybody's voice for a moment? Is that possible? Everybody unmute yourself. I'd just love to have a little hello drop in. How's it going? Where are you guys at with what you're seeing and what I'm talking about? I've talked a lot here.
It's amazing. I'm having an absolutely delightful time. I feel like I've dropped into Alice in Wonderland.
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I think someone said it earlier in the chat about how this is work. Like, it's not like you do it in ChatGPT and you get what you want. It's the same amount of work you would do with pen and paper, paint, and canvas. And so and not only the physical creation, but just also the mental and emotional and psychological effort you put in to still get one idea. It's still this. And I guess why I'm saying that is just because that whole argument about it's not art. It's still taking the same energy if you did it with your hands.
Entirely. Yep, absolutely. In fact, maybe even not more, but different, because it needs me to use a different part of my brain as opposed to a tool that I know my hand can do.
Yeah.
If you know how to do, that's provided you know how to do that art. I could never paint these things. I could never craft that. I know, in a million years, I could never do that. But I know what's in my brain. I know what I see. I don't live in that Alice in Wonderland world. I exist in that world, though. I don't live there. But when my eyes close and when I'm alone, that's where I want to be. I want to walk with these people. I want to be with these people. It's bizarre.
You just took us there. So what's so beautiful about what I feel right now is that literally it is a mirror of you. And then you said, these are creatures who live in the finite world that we all exist in. And you said, walk with me as we go to where they become magical creatures of their own agency, and we can dream along with you. So I don't know, I'm just feeling this really cool space, The Alice in the Wonderland is the falling into a well and ending up in a place of magical, lucid dreaming, a collective consciousness of feeling, emotionality. I understand and I hear, when you see any profound movie that makes you think, Marquez, the surrealist writer, Gabriel Marquez, takes you to the surrealist world that is so beyond where we are, but it's still somehow grounded in some truth. That's what art making is. That's the verb of what you just did. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you, Rick. And I don't know who it was that was speaking before. I can't see the name, but thank you for
emoji. Sorry, it was emoji.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate. I guess the word is acknowledgement of what what you felt. Because remember, I started this by saying, I didn't know if anybody would want to come on this. What do I have to? This is just what I do. Is it worth anything to anybody to learn this, or not to learn this, to watch it, to see how I do, and And it sounds as though it's okay for you to be hanging out with me doing this. And
It's everything. I mean, I would rather do this than go watch Avatar right now. I really,
wow.
and I think that's the question, isn't it? When we're facing an AI world where we think it's absconding with stuff, to find a new instrument that we could play, like a trumpet instead of a violin, or me doing pottery, is an opportunity to find the right instrument that your voice comes through with. And certainly you found yours. I'm certain your pottery is just as lovely, but they both come from you.
Mm.
Do you feel like no matter what instrument you're playing, are you still playing the same song? Your song?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
In fact, so we'll get back to images in a second. Let me, for example, show you the difference between, there's many voices that I have, though, right?
Come back, Cori.
Yeah, I'm coming back, I'm right here. So, for example,
Bring your voice back.
there's this guy,
Yep.
which is just a wood-fired sculptural
And
little piece.
There's
right?
the curl that was on your cat in that last image.
There's the curl, and then there's stuff like this.
Whimsical. Yes.
Right? So
There's a spiral.
there's a spiral somewhere. And yeah, and that's just, like, this is a salt shaker, and you put the salt in there and it comes out there. You go and it comes out. So yeah, like wherever I am, there I am. Wherever I go, there I am. And some of what I do is childish and naive and whimsical, and some of it is sophisticated and quiet and meditative. And all of those are me. And what I love about what I'm playing with here is there's a voice, there's a song that I get to sing that I didn't have the music for before. And now I can pull out the notes from the sky or from my mind, and then I can hear it. So that's kind of what I'm doing, if I can put it in another art form.
I think when you started with the word, the Cori Codex, Codex comes from the word block of wood, which is also a book, a map of you. It's sort of like you are showing us the map of who you are internally, and you're finding the instrument that lets you connect stars together to make constellations. Ooh, that's a nice way of saying it. I like that.
That's right. Write that one down, okay? That'll be recorded, right?
That's what I always do. It's like you just, in fact, that's my gift, I hope, is that I want to add value to the world by showing people how beautiful they are. And it really is beautiful who you are.
Thank you.
It's an intimacy that I think is really profound, that I think what we're searching for, I mean, Kyle's gone down this whole thing of meaning making, and artists have always been the meaning makers. They're the storytellers. Our greatest compression of all ideas is that we can take a word like Frodo and it's worth 10 billion other words. It's worthy of a vision, and we ground all of our thinking in terms of feeling, and thinking, and then thinking and feeling, and compression and decompression, and finding the right instrument and tuning ourselves to the harmony of what other people are feeling also. And when you get to that point, you're talking about the gravity of you attracts the gravity of everybody who showed up here today to come watch what the gravity feels like, because we recognize it. It's the same one that's in us, and we're meant to be in each other's orbit. So
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, Moji?
Oh, yeah, I'm unmuted. I don't know how to say this. I think also what has been great about not only your presentation and the conversation we're having is for those of us, I'll speak for myself, who don't feel creative or don't feel artistic. Like, I could never, when I was in kindergarten, I could never color within the lines, and that was bad, or I don't feel like I can draw, or I can, whatever that artistic creation is, like painting, drawing, that creation aspect. And like, I know that 100% that's not true, but I think what's wonderful about this is for the people in the world who I personally know say, oh yeah, I'm not artistic, that I feel like this is a doorway, into like what is in my head can be brought out. Like, and and Kyle said it a lot of times. We all have taste. We all have things that we like and things that we think are attractive or not attractive or pretty. But watching this process is making me say, like, yeah, I can make something and make it, as Rick just pointed out, just make it be something from me. Like, it's like I can't draw a straight line, but I could create an image or a color palette or a character, with iteration after iteration that feels like it's coming from me. So
You're asking for permission, yes?
I feel like I'm not gonna say I'm gonna ask for permission. I'm just saying that a tool exists now that I don't feel apologetic for, because yeah, I can take an art class, I can take a pottery class, and I can make something that I'm happy with. But I don't know, this just takes it to a whole nother level. So loving this.
What I would say to that, Moji, I think is if somebody has language, whatever that language is, if they have sign language and then a way to interpret that into keys or typing, if they have any other language that can be typed or spoken into, there is now a way that all of us, whoever those us's are, that we're told,
yeah,
don't sing out loud, stay in the back of the choir, open your mouth, but don't sing because you don't sound good and you're ruining the choir when you're in grade 2. How horrible is that? Or these are the only colors that flowers should be, so you can't use the black in a flower. Take that out. Or these are the lines and you need to stay inside this page. You can't go onto the table because, oh my gosh, there's a whole other part, but the page didn't hold it all. I need to continue. No, you can't. This is the bounds that you need to live in. We now have such a gift for people who've been told you don't get to be an art. You don't get to art.
Yeah.
Art is meant for the artists. Well, if we are alive, we are art. I am art. Like I am art. And it's not because I'm an artist. If everybody walking on the street has an idea, has something. Even it's, oh, geez, that book that I read, I kind of wish that the cover was green and that there was a piece of corn on it. Make a cover with green and corn on the top of it, and then play for an hour with corn and a green cover. Oh my gosh, where might you end up? Would you end up playing a corn as a trombone? Would you end up, pulling out the corn from the back of you and bullseyeing it? Like right there. Where did that come from? I don't know. Somewhere in the moment. So what I'm aware of is that I'm going to break away for just a second. This has been a really difficult 2 years or so, maybe for me, emotionally. This last year, like literally a full year, I was hardly in my pottery studio because there was something profound about I make pretty things. My art is not instructive. My art is not literal in terms of speaking to a point or political. It is political in that it brings calm and joy and peace, and my what I do online, because I do a lot of it online, is all about welcoming and safe space, all of that. I couldn't make anything. I couldn't go into my studio this year. What I did, I spent time in front of a computer making a bunch of AI stuff. And as I'm looking at some of that dystopia, oh my God, I didn't put that together until right now. That I've needed to create beautiful dystopia this year because I couldn't create beautiful beauty. I felt that it was incongruent with what's going on in the world, with my belief and my political bent of what's going on in the world. Who needs another pretty mug is where I was. And although so many of my people, my collectors, my followers, my whomever said, Cori, we need that. Like, that's so important right now. I couldn't physically muster it up, but I could muster up sitting in front of a screen, finding the beauty in the dystopia. And not only that, but a lot of my work has been just sullen, I guess, beautifully sullen. That's what I'll say. And to you, Moji, I think that there's something really important about wherever that voice can come out. We need to be able to grab that opportunity, because right now, many voices are being smothered. Many voices are being radically shut down. And many other words that I don't even need to put in here, but it's a terrifying time for me. And that's globally. That's not just one country. There's a lot of really darkness in the world right now for me. And if there's a way that some of those voices or those ideas or those images or those thoughts can come out, and for some it might not be in the art world of AI. It may be in the building world. It may be in the ideation world. It may be in the spreadsheet world. I don't know. That's, to some people, that's their art. Like, I don't math. I build dystopia with pretty pictures. I don't know why that just came out, but that's just what that conversation kind of went through. Reed, I'm so sorry. Your hand is up. Thank you for listening. Reed?
No, thank you. And this is so fun. It's so interesting to go down a rabbit hole with somebody and see how where they're going, and like what they're prompting on now, and how it's just fascinating to follow somebody down a rabbit hole that is so different than what I typically do. And it just points out, and I agree with you, that everyone is so different. Like, this is like a study, like what it's almost like you could write a book on like how you prompted everything, and within each one it's like, oh, here's a story about that time in my life, and this is why I prompted like this. Like there's this is so fun just to go on this ride with you, and have like everything be like super cool and really fun to look at. And also, if we're showing off stuff that we make, there we go. Also a potter. That's all. But this is also just I want to go down rabbit holes with more people. Like, this is so fun. That's what I got.
Well, we can do this often.
I want to take some people on the rabbit holes that I go down, Like,
we should change from LOLs to rabbit holes and just
come along with me on how I, figured out that I should start this business, and the numbers that it crunched for me for the first year, because I'm also going to add a mobile wine dispenser that goes along with it. Like, it's just random shit.
And then how different this is from the app that I'm creating for caregivers for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. Like, it's a totally different world, except, so in that app, I wanted to also make some visually pleasing stuff. Like, there's a section where you can journal, and you can also, or you can vent rather. And you might just want to throw that vent away because it's something that you'd never want anybody else to hear you say as a caregiver. So what I did is I created in Flux or Flow or VO3, I forget, an image of a piece of paper with writing on it being put into a fireplace and it burning. So when you click the burn writing mode, that's what you see, and you hear the crackling of this. So I get to still bring in that visual world in small ways to an app that's about, what do you say when your person does this for the 11th time in the last hour? How do you deal with a child who's trying to bully another parent about what's going on with the other parent. Like, so yeah, there's all kinds of ways that we find rabbit holes and then put our hand down that place and go, oh, look, I found a turtle in here. You know,
And there's the turtle duck, not a turtle.
that's right. You go, exactly.
Well, this has been awesome. I had a feeling that we'd go over the hour, but I didn't know we would go this far over the hour. But it's great. So thank you to everyone who's stayed with us, and we'll definitely get Cori back to take us down some more rabbit holes in the future.
Yeah, that one didn't even get finished. There's still a whole lot more left of that.
Right.
That's the one.
Yeah, we can just have like that would be like this session part 2.
Perfect.
Have to be sometime after March, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fine. I think I'm booking out in April now anyway, so we're all good. I have like in 2 weeks, speaking of vibe coding, which, well, you know, Cori has been vibe coding her app. In 2 weeks time, February 14th. So if you're not doing anything for Valentine's Day and you'd like to be here for an hour or so, or maybe a little more than an hour, we have, oh my gosh, his name is Alan Knox, I'm sorry, is coming to tell us about like, okay, so I've vibe coded this app, like what do I do now? Like how do I deploy it? What safety features do I need to make sure are in place and all that kind of stuff, which should be awesome. Alan is very cool guy. He's like, I've followed him on TikTok, and like I was like hearting everything that he said, because I'm like, oh my God, we need this. And so, yeah, we did need it. So that's why we're having that one in 2 weeks time. So details will be in the salon and no doubt posted all over, you know, I don't know, LinkedIn, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be a really cool session. And then come back for more Cori at a different time as well.
Happy to. Yep. Happy
Yeah,
to.
we have a bunch of we have Digital Gods, I think 2 weeks after that one, talking about basically riffing off what he did in AI Festivus. But yeah, we've got a bunch of good stuff coming up, which is really cool.
Very neat.
So
Very neat.
Everyone for being here.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Vicky, for curating these and making them flow. I really appreciate you. I just know if you're involved, it's going to go well. It's going to go smoothly.
I do my best. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the chat, because that was like, I checked all the settings and everything, and I don't know why there are people that can't post. But hopefully we'll have that sorted for next time.
Okay. Well, thank you again, everybody, for I just put it in the chat, for making me feel like what I'm doing, you know, is worth hanging out with. So that's really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Cori.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
If you have
Thank
questions
you.
in the future, just send me a message in the salon, and I'll look
Yeah.
at it at
That's
some
what I should have done. Like, do you have like socials and whatever that people can look at your art?
Yeah, one of the things that I would absolutely hope that you guys do is follow me on TikTok and get all the notifications, because I go live sometimes several times a day, either from my kitchen, from my studio, making pots, doing vibe coding, just hanging out, doing something hopefully interesting, having a nice conversation.
And if you hear Cori talk about the tickle tockles, that's what she means. So,
Yeah, so it's Cori.Sandler.pottery on TikTok. And my site is corisandler.com. And in there, I will start to add, there's a lifestyles tab, and that's where I have some print on demand stuff. And then I have my shop tab, which is my pottery related stuff. And I'll soon start to put stuff in the apps section if I don't have an actual website for it. I do have a web domain already for imagine-to-image.com. It's just not populated yet, but that's where this app will eventually live. I'm working right now. For anybody that's interested, I won't keep you much longer. I've been asked to make pottery for a new streaming series that's just going into, it's in development. It's being, on the 11th, they're starting production. And it's going to be a 8-part series, episodic. And it's going to be unlike anything you guys have likely seen. It's probably going to be pretty great. So one of the characters happens to be a witch and a potter. Oh my God. And it's not about me. So I've been asked to make certain pottery for the thing, and they're going to come with a huge truck, pull out most everything in my studio, and recreate a studio down the island where they're shooting, and then bring it back to me at some point. So I'll get to kind of spring clean my studio because there's going to be a bunch of stuff gone. So it's kind of cool.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I know I have Rick's name on the list, but anyone else who has anything that they would like to, any rabbit holes they would like to go down, or anything that they would like to present in an LOL, like just hit me up and I'll get you on the list. So
That's all, folks.